I was shocked as hell, man. Just left my Spurs, just went to Brooklyn. It looked like a situation where a longtime former All-Star and a veteran was going to be able to maybe win a championship. So I could imagine it's very disappointing. But, man, what do you think about this, man? Had to retire. They called it a regular heartbeat. And apparently he's been dealing with health issues since '06.
Wow.
So
Really?
he's been sacrificing a lot, man. So what do you think about this?
No, it sucks, dude. It really sucks because he finally was gonna get a real opportunity to be a part of like a championship nucleus out of his whole career. And now once he finally gets there, he's forced to step away and he's forced to walk away from what would have been a great situation, obviously, with those stars and the former stars and the nice role players. And that stacked bunch, period, in Brooklyn. So it really is a tough, we're losing another star. I just hope, he's going to be much, much healthier afterwards. Like, he doesn't have to battle with it and keep going with it afterwards. I just hope he gets some fix. He can maybe, possibly, I don't know if he can come back, but I just hope everything can be good afterwards.
Yeah, man. It's not surprising. And the more I thought about it and sat back and thought about it, it's not the same exact situation, but it made me feel similar. It reminded me how I felt when Chris Bosh had to retire. Because when Chris Bosh had to retire, it was kind of like unexpected. Well, it was like one of those, damn, we didn't know he was dealing with that extent of something to the point where he might have to retire earlier than any of us expected, because he was still a great player, still a 22-10 player at the time, and they just gave him that big contract. And the difference was, of course, Bosh won with the big three, but I think it's very similar that these guys were some of the better power forwards in their generation, and they still had something to offer, a lot to offer in a specific role, but they had to do what's best for them and their family. It wasn't an easy decision, but I respect it, man. I hope he's good. I agree 100% with you.
Man, good. He would have been a good key piece to a championship role, just his style of play, the mid-range game, the big long frame, the rebounding ability. I think he would have worked out perfectly in that situation. And it's crazy how he has to just he can't even enjoy it.
Yeah, and right when he got to get a few games under him, that he looked all right. A solid few games with them. I think he scored 24 actually, the other week, and he was blending in pretty nicely. And that role was perfect for him at this point in his career. Be the veteran, give them high-level 18 to 20 minutes, spread the floor, rebound a little bit, maybe block a shot, and do it in limited doses. I think that was literally perfect for guys like him and Blake Griffin, who aren't going to carry your offense as the first or second option anymore. But I'm glad he made the decision, because athletes sometimes need to be saved from themselves. He took the high road and he saved himself, man. And judging by it, man, he probably should have did it sooner.
Let me ask you this though: if he doesn't get to play basketball again, is he a Hall of Famer?
Ooh, that's a good question. Damn, that's a real good question. I wasn't expecting that. I like that. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
I would say no, but
I'm gonna say no.
I think he might get in.
I'm gonna say no for the simple fact he had a great career. Let me say that. But he seriously did. He's one of Portland's all-time leading scorers. I think he was number one maybe before Dame is obviously. If Dame didn't pass him already, Dame's gonna pass him. But you know, he did a lot for Portland. He was one of the best power forward. He could honestly say most of his career he was a top 10 to top 5 power forward. So some years he was looking like arguably the best. So in that respect, he had a very great career. 7-time All-Star. Went to San Antonio. I think his San Antonio run was a letdown overall, but he did some good things for us here and there. But I don't see nothing on Lamarcus Aldridge's resume that could help his case. He doesn't have much of a resume. You still need to have a certain level of resume and body of work that we could point to without even thinking. You know what I mean?
No, true, but if you kind of look through the Hall of Fame list, this kind of other guys who are in the same boat as him. That's the only reason why I would say yes.
What big is Lamarcus better than in the Hall of Fame? It's hard to say.
Better career or better skill?
Better skill, better career, a little bit of both. Better resume, like accolades. LA didn't collect accolades. Like you have to have at least a year or two where you're collecting something, along with your stats, of course.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it. You know what I mean? But I look at other guys kind of like, and they may not be big, but I look at other guys kind of like, you know, Grant Hill. You know what I mean? Yao Ming. They made All-Star teams. They had a couple of All-Star years, but they didn't really get to sustain anything. You know what I mean? And they still threw them in. At least LA got to sustain for All-Star level for a lot of years.
Yeah, he did. But those guys, I think Yao Ming's a big anomaly for one. I think Yao's a big anomaly, and they put into the fact that the effect he had on the total game and the effect he had on China being so heavily involved in basketball till this day. I think they put that into account, and the fact that Yao was arguably the best center at times. You know, he was always in that top 3 to 5 range. Even though he didn't have a long career, he gave the best centers like Shaq Fitz. He played in arguably the best era of big men overall. He was an anomaly to me. And to me, Grant Hill deserves to be there more than Lamarcus Aldridge for the simple fact that we saw where he was headed before the injury. We saw his skills, and we knew that he was going to be one of those players that would have been transcendent. And even though he did get beat up by injuries, he had a pretty good career.
Man, I mean, yeah, he did. He's someone who adjusted good. When the athleticism went off, he was able to adjust really good.
Yeah.
But I can say, but you know, it's tough. I mean, I think he might get like a pity. If he goes in, it's going to be a lot of years after waiting a long time.
It's tough, man.
It's going to be for pity.
It'll shock me if he goes in.
I'm with you though. For me, I wouldn't put him in.
He's never led the league in rebounding. Never quite was top 5 in scoring or led the league in scoring. Like he hasn't really got those type of things. No accolades, no MVPs. He was just a great all-star. He was a great perennial all-star.
I'm with you. That's kind of the same reason why my guy C. Webb still isn't in.
I think, but Weber was a lot more impactful than LA.
True.
He was part of Sacramento, arguably Sacramento's best team ever.
True. And you know he's still waiting for a spot?
Yeah, I think he deserves to be in already. C-Web was great.
They've been making C-Web wait for like more than a decade.
Is Rasheed Wallace in?
I don't think he's been in yet.
That's another one that needs to be in.
Ben Wallace isn't even in.
Yeah, all three of them should have been in already, in my opinion. Seriously. But LA, man, I think guys like Joe Johnson deserve more Hall of Fame respect than him. And I don't even really think Joe Johnson's a Hall of Famer like that. But I think Joe Johnson had a better career than LA.
I agree. LA, I don't know. I don't know if he can make the line.
Respect to LA, though. I don't want to sound like I'm raining on this parade. Not that nigga, he would give a fuck, but at the end of the day, man, that I don't see him as a Hall of Famer.
No, yeah, I agree with you. But he at the end of the day, he was still a good all-star level guy for a long time.